Improved since he moved to town and bought the place a few years back. Won't be long before he has the new boy trained in proper bagging technique. She tucks the receipt into her pocketbook. Some June in it. Ethan leans back and crosses his arms over his belly. It's past 10 in the evening, the checkout lanes are empty, and the new boy has retreated to the bench next to the deli counter. It's been drizzly, Tova agrees. You know me, love, I'm like a big duck, rolls off my back, but I'll be damned if I haven't forgotten what the sun looks like. Yes, well. Ethan smooths piles of receipts into neat white bricks, his eyes lingering on the circular sucker mark on her wrist, a purplish bruise which is hardly faded in the days since the octopus grabbed her there. He clears his throat. Tova, I'm sorry to hear about your brother's passing. Tova lowers her head but says nothing. He continues. You need anything at all, just say the word. She meets his eyes. She's known Ethan for years, and the man doesn't go out of his way to avoid scuttlebutt. Tova has never met a 60-something-year-old man who so enjoys gossip. So he's surely aware of the estrangement between her and her brother. Tone measured, she says, Lars and I weren't close. Had she and Lars ever been close? Tova is certain they were once. As children, certainly. As young adults, mostly. Lars stood alongside Will, both in gray suits, at Tova and Will's wedding. At the reception, Lars gave a lovely speech that made everyone's eyes mist over, even their stoic father's. For years afterward, Tova and Will spent every New Year's Eve at Lars's house in Ballard, eating rice pudding and clinking flutes at midnight while little Eric slept under a crocheted blanket on the Davenport. But things started to change after Eric died. Once in a while, one of the nitwits probes Tova, asking what happened between her and Lars, and Tova says, nothing really, and this is the truth. It happened gradually. No blowout argument, no fist-shaking or hollering. One New Year's Eve, Lars phoned Tova and informed her that he and Denise had other plans. Denise, his wife, for a time anyway. When they would come for dinner, Denise was fond of loitering around the kitchen sink while Tova was up to her elbows in suds, insisting that she was there if Tova ever needed to talk. Well, it's not a crime for her to care about you, even if you don't know her well, is what Lars said when Tova registered her annoyance. After that fizzled New Year's, there was a skipped Easter luncheon, a canceled birthday party, a Christmas gathering that never made it past the we-should-get-together state of planning. The years stretched into decades, turning siblings to strangers. Ethan fiddles with the small silver key dangling from the drawer of the cash register. His voice is soft when he says, Still, family is family. He grimaces, lowering his awkward frame into the swivel chair next to the register. Tova happens to know the chair helps his bad back. Not the sort of gossip she seeks out, of course, but sometimes one can't help but overhear. The nitwits like to natter on about such things. Tova sighs. Family is family. She knows Ethan means well, but what a ridiculous saying. Of course family is family. What else could it be? Lars was her last living relation. Family, even though she hadn't spoken to him in years. I must get going, she finally replies. My feet are quite sore from work. Aye, your aquarium gig. Ethan sounds thankful for the change in subject. Say hello to the scallops for me. Tova nods gravely. I will tell them hello. Let them know they're living the high life compared to their cousins over there in the seafood case. Ethan ticks his head toward the fresh seafood department at the back of the store, the one that, with a few local catch exceptions, offers mostly previously frozen seafood. He leans his elbows on the checkout counter with a bemused look in his eyes. Tova's cheeks flush, having picked up on his facetiousness an instant too late. Those scallops in the cold case, rounds of translucent white,